Welcome back to lesson 9 of our animal transformation story writing cycle. What we're going to do today is we are going to edit our work. Now let's think about what edit means. There are two ways of looking at editing. You are looking for mistakes that you have made, missing words, missing punctuation, spelling mistakes. But you're also looking for ways that you can improve your work by adding something new. And we're going to do both of those things. So before you begin, you're going to need your work in front of you, a pen. Now, if you have a different colour pen at home or a pencil and you want to use that, you can, or you can just edit with the same pen that you used. Because obviously in class we would have our purple pens. So, if you have those things, start. Firstly, check your sentences start with a capital letter. I want you to press pause and I want you to go through and very carefully read your work, but just look at each sentence and check there is a capital letter. Press pause while you do that. Okay, welcome back. Next, I want you to do the same thing, but this time you're going to check that all of the names start with a capital letter. So the names of any people in your story, and if you have mentioned a city or a country, which is possible, you need to check for that as well. So press pause while you check for any names, that all names start with a capital letter. Okay, number 3. Now, check you have used commas in lists. Before you press pause, there are two types of commas in lists. There are, when you have used, look at the bottom of the screen, two adjectives. Here we've got large and we've got hairy. So we have got a comma between those two adjectives. That's classed as a list. So look, have you used more than one adjective together? Put a comma between them. Secondly, we've got a list like this. So let me highlight it for you. We've got several things happening. So we've got his ears and nose began to shrink. That's one thing, comma. The fur disappeared from his body and his tail vanished. He was a boy again. So look at that list there. We've got a list of different things. Two ways of doing this, adjectives or things that are happening or things that you see. So please press pause, check now that you have not missed any commas for lists. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to check that you have used dialogue punctuation correctly. So take a look at this. Here's some dialogue. So we've got the inverted commas. We've got here one there and we've got one set there. So the inverted commas go around what your character said. You either then need to have a question mark if it is a question. You can also have an exclamation mark or a comma. Now, you will notice there is not a full stop in this example. You can have a full stop, but not in these kind of examples. So really, your dialogue is going to have a question mark, a comma, or an exclamation mark. And then the full stop is going at the end of the sentence. So ask the policeman, Jack said Jack. Now that's really important, and you should also have started a new line, a new speaker. So go through again, look at your inverted commas, look at your question mark, your comma or your exclamation mark, and then look for your full stop at the end. Press pause while you do that. Okay, so number 5, you're going to see if you can add in any words. Watch while I do it now. Surely, slowly but surely, the men and their dogs were approaching from all directions. So, I'm going to think, can I add in some adjectives? I'm going to say the noisy dogs, right? And I'm going to think of men, the intimidating. Intimidating, they make you feel nervous because They're definitely going to be intimidating to Jack because they're looking for him. Slowly but surely, the intimidating men and their noisy dogs were approaching from all directions. I'm going to use an adverb now. Steadily. Steadily, it means that they keep on doing it at the same kind of speed, steadily approaching from all directions. He was trapped in the trees and had nowhere to go. He was trapped in the towering trees. Okay. And had nowhere to go. Then he felt it once more, the tingling sensation. His ears and nose began to shrink, the fur disappeared from his body, and his tail vanished. We'll say the thick fur. Okay? And that fact, there's another word which we've looked at in year 6, which is coarse. Now, coarse, I've actually spelt it wrong there. Coarse with an A is like thick and not soft fur. Like a doormat is very coarse. When it's spelt with a U like that, it's like a lesson, a course in French at college or a course in woodwork or something. But with an A, coarse fur disappeared from his body and his tail vanished. He was a boy once again. I might even put he was a normal boy again. So look at what I've added. That's just one paragraph. Adjectives and an adverb. Now, you can either if you've got lots of editing, what I suggest, well, first off, I suggest you put a little arrow. You're not going to be able to add it in like me, but you can draw an arrow like I've shown you in class and write the adject above that. So you've done that. You're going to press pause and you're going to read through, and I'm going to set you the target. Minimum 5 new words that you can add. I know some people will do a lot more than that, but minimum 5. Press pause while you do that. Okay, now the next one, I haven't actually got a separate number for it, but it's going to be about commas after fronted adverbials. So if I highlight the fronted adverbials in the story, if I go back to the story, the full story, leaving the pitch and his friends, that's a fronted adverbial with a comma. Nearby. You might actually decide you want to add in some fronted adverbials. Slowly. Suddenly. Okay, in less than a minute. So all of those are fronted adverbials and they tell us the time. So in less than a minute, suddenly. They tell us how somebody did it. So for example, slowly. You could say steadily, quickly. And they also tell us the place. You also have what they were doing, like leaving the pitch and his friends, scratching his head slowly, scratching his head in confusion. We've done those a lot in class. So read through, and can you add in any fronted adverbials? Press pause while you do that. Okay, welcome back. So the last thing that you are going to do is, now you've made all of those changes, I think it would be a brilliant idea if you could write out neatly and publish your story, because you've obviously made a lot of changes. There's going to be crossings out and all sorts, and I would really like to see your stories finished as one piece all together with a title, The Sound of Your Animal, looking fantastic in your best handwriting. So that's the final task that you have to do. You've edited your work and now you're going to publish it, and I can't wait to see all of these fantastic stories that you're going to send me. Thank you for taking part, and bye.